Hello, hello, my name is Emerine, and today I'm going to be doing a kind of silly video. So recently there's been these pictures going around and people are talking about how anime proportions are not really based off of people, but that they're based off of cats. So I thought that this would be a really funny idea to do with my own cat because she is a Persian. She has a cute little flat face, but I wasn't sure if this would translate well to a person's face. I've already drawn her before in this cute little cartoony style, but I also wanted to explore some of her personality traits. And so Sadie, who is my cat, she is very lazy. She's usually just like sleeping all day. She's very cute and curious, and she's also very, very fluffy. She also has these like cute little white like spots on her tummy, and when she fully has her hair grown out, she just looks like this little fluffy black hole. Like, she's adorable. I love her so much. And yeah, let's just get started. So I started with just like sketching right on top of the drawing. I wanted to keep her eyes, nose, and lips as close to where they actually are as possible. And I was trying to figure out like where the hairline would start and like how to incorporate her ears and different things like that. But basically what I decided to do was to give her like little tufts or like little layers of hair to kind of fill out where her ears naturally are. And then around her collar, that's usually where some of the like densest fur is, like around her neck. So I definitely wanted to include some like furry fuzzy collar. And she has this little bell that makes sound whenever she walks, and it's so cute, so I had to include the bell somewhere. And she also has like, because her eyes are so big, she either looks like tired and sleepy like what you saw in the videos, or she just has this look where it's like partially zoning out, but then also partially like a really intense glare. And so I was trying to get that, and I think I do in the end, but getting that like balance of like zoned out but also intense was a little tricky. And so now that I'm going into her outfit, because she is mostly all one color, this like dark brown color, she's actually not black, I was trying to think of what I could put her in so that I could just get this like big block of color. And I've been seeing these long parkas everywhere lately, and so I decided to put her in one of those. And then also because she has these cute little like her little paws are just so cute. And so I knew that I needed to give her some like rounded mittens and also some like rounded little Ugg boots. And with the coloring, I wasn't sure at this point how I was going to do the color blocking. Since she is mostly brown with these little patches of white, I wasn't sure where it would be best to put the color. And so because I didn't know what her skin tone was, I wanted to include some part of her like Persian background. So I found this collage of Persian patterns, and so I just found one that looked really pretty, and so I added that on the edge of her coat so that we could have like some of that like background like detail in there. And so now I'm going into just doing some like black and white and gray color blocking. And so this is a trick that a friend of mine told me about, and so just trying to figure out what the best like balance of colors would be. And then after that, I made my color palette and kind of assigned colors to be like what is the darkest, what is the lightest, and just started messing around with that in different combinations. And this was actually a lot trickier than I thought. I really wanted to include purple because in the sunlight, Sadie's fur has this like plumish purple hue. It's really hard to explain. But this mixture of the brown and the purple was kind of hard to work with, but I'm glad that I pushed myself, and I did so many different color palette changes on here. And so you can see that I did so many different versions, just trying to figure out what would be the best balance of colors, not too many like medium tones over each other, Now I just had to figure out the pose. And so like I said earlier, she's always laying down. She'll also like cross her paws, which is so cute. But this first pose that I found, I didn't like it. It was cute, but it didn't really give the same like vibe that I was trying to go for. And so since Sadie's always laying down, I didn't want her like laying down like draw me one of your French girls style. But since it's been kind of like cloudy lately, or like our weather has been kind of funky, so I wanted to draw her like maybe laying down or leaning and just like hoping that the sun would come out. As I was sketching this out, I really liked the composition. I tried to follow the rule of thirds as much as I can. I think it just looks really nice, and it's also kind of an easy one to figure out. She is looking outside of the window at a rainy, like stormy weather, and just like hoping that the sun will come out soon. And I learned from a previous drawing, if you haven't seen my sandbox challenge video, in there I drew everything on only like 3 layers. And I didn't want to go through that again. So this time I made everything in separate layers. It made it so much easier to do all of the shading and stuff that I'm doing later. So I just made sure that like her hair was a layer, the fur was a layer, her jacket was another layer. All these things were separated, and I actually ended up maxing out my layers. And since I got everything blocked out, I'm just going in, you might not be able to see it, but I was going in with a really light like pencil tool, just adding a couple of details like in the hair, or adding some shadows and things to the bows in her hair, also adding some shadows to the fur, just trying to make sure that everything is distinct, that you can tell that she has like the arms on her jacket, things like that. Also, I forgot to add in the bell, so we did that layer. And now I'm going in with an overlay layer. And so I filled the layer with a 50% gray, and now I'm just going in with black and white to kind of draw attention to where I want the eye to go, which is her face, and then drawing the attention away from the edges, and also it's making the outside look darker than it is. Before I completely finish up this drawing, I forgot to add the little patterns, and so I quickly added that to the cuffs part of her jacket and signed it, and then there you go. This is my finished anime girl version of my cat Sadie. I hope that you like it. I would be really curious to see how other people would turn her into a person, just based off of maybe the personality that you guys heard me talk about. And I hope that you guys had fun with this silly little drawing, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!